July 15th, 2025, we kicked off our very first road trip, cruising down the iconic Pacific Coast Highway. We started in Seattle, looped up and around the Olympic National Park, getting within just 8 miles of the Canadian border, and then we began our southern trek all the way to San Diego. Before we get rolling, did you grab a snack? Hit the restroom? Good! Now buckle up, settle into that comfy passenger seat, and enjoy the ride. The Space Needle, a Seattle landmark built for the 1962 World's Fair, stands at 605 feet tall in the lower Queen Anne neighborhood. Once the tallest structure west of the Mississippi, it remains an enduring symbol of the city. I love the views of the city coming down Fifth Avenue, which also shares its route with the monorail to the Space Needle. Of course, I had to stop by, see the Jimi Hendrix monument. The City of Des Moines Marina is a full-service marina on the east side of the East Passage of Puget Sound. The guys here on the end of the pier were catching some salmon. Redondo, a community in Des Moines, King County, Washington, began as a resort before developing into a middle-class residential area. It is centered around Redondo Beach, a small shoreline with a boardwalk. In avoiding Interstate 5, I came across the East 21st Street Bridge, a cable-stayed span over Tacoma's Theophos Waterway. Opened July 22, 1997, it links I-5 with downtown Tacoma. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge is the second built at its location. The first, nicknamed Galloping Gertie, famously collapsed in 1940. Today, twin suspension spans carry State Route 16 across the Tacoma Narrows, linking Tacoma to the Kitsap Peninsula. Moving into the west side of Puget Sound now, we come across Sinclair Inlet and some more beautiful scenery. Opened in 1961, the Hood Canal Bridge is a floating bridge in western Washington state. It carries State Route 104 across Hood Canal in Puget Sound and connects the Olympic and Kitsap Peninsulas. At 7,869 feet, it is the longest floating bridge in the world located in a saltwater tidal basin, and the third longest floating bridge overall. As we enter the nearly 1 million acre Olympic National Park, we join Highway 101, the main route circling the park. This scenic highway will be our companion for much of the journey as we travel more than half of its loop around Olympic's diverse landscapes of coastline, forest, and mountains. Here we are in the Elwha River Valley. Once blocked by hydroelectric dams, the Elwha River is now restored after their removal in 2011 and 2014, and salmon runs have returned. Lake Crescent, a deep, glacially carved lake in Olympic National Park, is known for its strikingly clear turquoise waters and scenic hiking trails along its shores. It's a popular spot for kayaking, fishing, and spotting wildlife in a tranquil rainforest setting. Olympic National Park hosts some of the finest temperate rainforest in the lower 48, among the wettest regions in the continental United States, with 12 to 14 feet of rain per year. James Island, top of the rock, is at the mouth of the Quileute River near La Push, Washington. James Island is both a cultural landmark for the Quileute and a geographic symbol of the wild Pacific coast that Olympic National Park protects. Ruby Beach, known for its dramatic sea stacks, those big rock formations rising out of the ocean. They're ancient remnants of headlands carved by waves over thousands of years. Add in the driftwood, red-tinged sand, and tide pools, and it's one of the most iconic spots on the Washington coast. Highway 101 winds through the Claylock area, clinging to cliffs and threading through old-growth forests. Beaches below are scattered with driftwood, alive with tide pools, and battered by waves, giving the Washington coast its wild, untamed feel. The Queets River is one of the last truly wild rivers in the lower 48. No dams, no towns, no crowds. Just glacial waters winding through ancient rainforest, elk trails, and silence. It's nature untouched and unforgettable. Tokeland Lookout perches above Willapa Bay, where marshes meet the Pacific in a tangle of waterways. From the deck, you can scan mudflats, watch eagles soar, and catch glimpses of boats threading the bay. Quiet, wild, and unmistakably Pacific Northwest. The Auntie Lee Evacuation Tower rises 50 feet over Tokeland, Washington. A steel lifeline built for Cascadia quakes. Holding over 400 people, it's the first freestanding vertical evacuation tower in the U.S., a bold symbol of coastal resilience. Here we get our first glimpse of the Megler Bridge in the Oregon coast. We'll cross that tomorrow. Continuing towards our campsite for tonight, we follow along the Columbia River where it meets up with the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful area. The Astoria Megler Bridge stretches 4.1 miles across the Columbia River, connecting Oregon and Washington. Completed in 1966, it's the longest continuous truss bridge in North America. Built to withstand 150 mile-per-hour winds and 9 mile-per-hour river currents, it replaced the Astoria Megler Ferry and completed U.S. Route 101. The Goonies house in Astoria, made famous in the Goonies movie, draws fans to its quirky storybook facade. Soon you might spot another sight from the movie. Haystack Rock towers 235 feet above Cannon Beach, a rugged sea stack made famous in the Goonies movie. The on-site Cannon Beach environmentalist here in the red truck advised me on safe droning to avoid disturbing the nesting puffins. At low tide, its base teems with tide pools, while seabirds crowd the cliffs during nesting season. Continuing down 101, the Cape Creek Bridge, a work of art that you need to get underneath really to see. Resembling a Roman aqueduct, this two-tiered concrete arch bridge was designed by master engineer Condi McCullough After driving through the adjacent tunnel, pull over at the parking area to view the bridge's grand scale. Take photos and access the secluded beach below. It's quick and rewarding. Neahkani rises sharp above the northern Oregon coast, its cliffs dropping straight into the Pacific. Hike the trails for panoramic views of rugged shoreline, hidden coves, and the endless ocean, where wind and waves have shaped the land like nowhere else. Netart's Base sits tucked into the northern Oregon coast, where calm estuary waters meet the restless Pacific. Oyster farms dot the shoreline, eagles wheel overhead, and tide pools along the edges reveal a hidden world beneath the waves. Quiet, wild, and unmistakably coastal. Depew Bay, the whale-watching capital of the Oregon coast. It's a tight stretch of harbor squeezed between rocky cliffs. Waves slam against the rocks, gray whales pass close to the shore, and the harbor's narrow channel gives the town a raw, untamed Pacific Northwest vibe. The Aquina Bay Bridge is a graceful Art Deco icon on the Oregon coast. All sweeping arches and elegant lines. Since 1936, it's connected Newport with the beauty of the bay, where engineering meets coastal charm. The Alsea Bay Bridge, completed in 1991, stretches over 3,000 feet across Alsea Bay in Waldport. With its clean concrete arches and scenic pedestrian walkway, it's both a vital link on Highway 101 and a perfect spot to watch the tides roll in. Just steps from downtown Yatchetz is their marine garden, a protected tide pool area where sea stars, anemones, and crabs thrive among the basalt rocks. A living glimpse into Oregon's coastal marine life. Look, but don't touch. Whale Park in Yatchetz has a bronze whale tail sculpture with an occasional spout and ocean views for whale watching. Cape Creek Bridge, another by Condi McCullough, was built in 1932 and spans 619 feet near Heceta Head. Part of Highway 101, it leads through Cape Creek Tunnel and opens up to stunning coastal views. The Coos Bay Causeway carries Highway 101 across the bay's wide tidal flats, connecting North Bend to Coos Bay. Flanked by water and sky, this long stretch offers a unique drive through coastal wetlands and sweeping estuary views. The McCullough Memorial Bridge, completed in 1936, is a masterpiece by Oregon bridge designer Condi McCullough. Its sweeping steel arch, Art Deco towers, and harbor views make it both a vital crossing and a coastal landmark. In another of Condi McCullough's designs is the smaller one, the Brush Creek Bridge, a charming historic concrete bridge on Highway 101 as you enter Humbug Mountain State Park. It spans the lush Brush Creek Gorge, showcasing classic coastal forest beauty. Continuing down Highway 101, we pass through Humbug Mountain State Park. The road winds between steep forested slopes and the rocky base of the mountain. With a creek running alongside, it's a shaded, narrow stretch of highway that feels tucked right into the wild of the Oregon coast. The dramatic sea stacks at Sisters Rocks are a result of ancient underwater magma flows from the Jurassic period. The rocks were later pushed to the surface by plate tectonics, then sculpted and eroded by the elements. A large sea cave has been carved into the biggest of the three formations, offering a spectacular sight, especially at high tides. The Isaac Lee Patterson Bridge, designed by, yep, you guessed it, Conde McCullough, was completed in 1936. The arches spanning the Rogue River are not visible from the topside here. Known for its elegant design and detailed railings, it's a beautiful addition to Oregon's southern coast. Travelers are checked entering California at the Border Agriculture Inspection Station, protecting California's farms from pests and invasive plants. Del Norte Coast Redwood State Park hugs the Northern California coast, where towering redwoods rise from rugged cliffs above the Pacific. Trails wind through misty forests to hidden beaches and waterfalls, and camping spots sit deep in the woods, surrounded by quiet forest magic. Driving down into Del Norte Coast Redwood State Park felt surreal. The road winding deep into silence. Cell phones were useless, and if not for the other campers, the isolation would have been absolute.